We've had all day banter.
Let's just talk about pouring these beers. This is an Irish Red from Fate, which is, down the skedaddle from us.
This is about, 10 yards away? Not bad.
So I thought, this holiday, St. Patrick's Day always sneaks up on me. And as somebody who sells beer, seasonal beer, this is a short season of beer, right? Like it's not like a longer season, like holiday.
Right, or pumpkin season.
Yeah, that seems to go on forever, right?
Yeah.
Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier.
All those things. Oktoberfest. That's a 2-month season.
Yeah.
You start in August and end at the end of September.
This seems to be short-lived, but people drink Reds every day.
True.
Actually, the next time we talk about Reds, there's a whole story about how Irish Reds are not Irish.
Why is now not a good time to talk about it?
Because I don't have enough of the actual details, but it was a English brewery that hired an Italian brewer to make an Irish Red, like original Irish Red.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like whatever Killian's Irish Red is based on.
Was that?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, this is nice. I like it.
Haven't had it yet. Smells good.
Yeah. Very nice. I like the simple messaging on the can. It's like right there. That's what it is.
I don't know. I can't see that. Okay, there you go. Like no one can see.
Okay.
We got 3 cameras now, finally.
Oh, so amazing.
Happy
so
about
amazing.
this.
And it was all set up, and I can see us there. I can see us there. If I touch this little GoPro on the back, I can see us there.
Yep.
Hot damn.
All this, I got to step away because I need cues.
Oh, the notes.
There's no notes. I'm just going to look at my photos.
Okay.
Because
You go into Google Timeline and see
I'm a
what's
visual learner.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Hey, Rob.
Andrew Bauman.
How's it going today?
Good.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. This is we've been very busy.
It's been very busy. It'll continue being busy. We had a couple minutes of downtime. I remember...
What, today?
No. Over the past couple weeks. I remember we did the Sierra Nevada disc golf. That was a moment of downtime.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was about it.
I'm not following it.
This Saturday, I was down in Tucson handing out posters to our kind members that are going to be sharing their beer at Baja Beer Fest. So I brought down posters, handed them out. I went to 21 breweries.
Really?
Yes.
That's incredible.
I had 24 stops because I went also to some tap rooms.
Right on. Well, we just sent out the email today about which breweries are participating, so I hope I got that right.
I went to all the breweries, whether they're participating or not, and put posters in their place.
Good for you. Good for you.
You know, they all can't be there. They all love supporting the project, so it's fine.
Great. So if you go to Baja Beer Fest, right, you'll see the list as it stands today. And I just, there's, I think there's a majority Tucson breweries, certainly a majority Southern Arizona, because we have Bisbee Brewing Company. We have out of Wilcox, 2 L's in Wilcox, by the way, when you spell it. Willc.
Yeah. Did I spell it wrong somewhere?
I don't know.
I do consciously have to remind myself there's 2 L's
It's
because
Torito Farms. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 R's, 2 L's. TIRRITO WILLCOX.
Exactly. So
I'll never forget.
we got a couple Northern Arizona. We got Mother Road. We've got Verdi Brewing Company.
I know.
Camp Verdi.
They were one of the first 3 to sign up. I was surprised.
There's a family relationship. Yeah. In
nice.
fact, Alex's father said hello, and we talked for quite a while at the last Baja Beer Festival, which is in a different location, and we won't talk about it ever again because it's all about Armory Park. Shade, grass, history, central location. So
I'm getting glass sample cups, and apparently I'm not supposed to have. But
shh, don't say anything.
Whoopsie doodle.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll, as I always say, we'll figure it out. So
I guess it's one of those ask forgiveness things.
It's hide from the city things.
That's fine.
As they broadcast out to the teeming 6-7 people of you. I think where I thought we would pick the ball up, I'm glad you mentioned the poster delivery because that's important. And I don't know if I've ever hit all 21 in a day. So that's great.
Okay. So the 21st was Sonoyta on Sunday. I went camping. Another beautiful camping trip in La Cienega National Wildlife Preserve. Beautiful park. If you haven't gone there, go.
I'm very proud of you. You pronounced it correctly this time.
That's the one in northern Arizona I can't pronounce.
Oh.
I don't know what it's called still. Wikapali. Wallapai.
Wallapai.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I thought we'd pick the story up about International Women's Day. Isn't that about where
We're right about there.
our story begins? So International Women's Day, there were several women's collaboration brews. We only knew about 2 of them, and we could only make 2 of them, but it worked out pretty well. Or I could only make 2 of them. I don't know what your plan was, but I had to go down to the state capitol on Wednesday, and so a 7 a.m. brew time is perfect because I had a 9 a.m. hearing, and I invited some board members down, and it was go to the collaboration beer, take a few photos, talk to people, let them know what the guild's all about, and because there was this is less of a bunch of brewers. This is more about including as many people across the from front of the house, back of the house. So this was at Greenwood Brewing Company downtown. So there was definitely servers from some of the beer bars and some of the breweries downtown.
And there were some ladies from the Girls Pint Out group.
Yes.
Who is composed of beer fans.
Yes.
Pink Boots is industry people, and Girls Pint Out is just straight up beer fans. Anyone can join. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the International Women's Day collaboration beer is an opportunity for education. And Kristen Luparello, the brewer at Greenwood, put on a pretty good talk while she was brewing the beer and showing everyone how to make the beers.
Got a lot of people in here. I don't want to look like a rookie. Being like, for 13 hours.
Yeah. So if you're listening on the podcast, know too that there is a YouTube channel, and we'll try to put as much video and photos of the events that we talk about. So we'll try to paint a picture. But it's Greenwood, and it's a kind of a small brewery, but it seems super efficient. Marisa from Look Brewing Company was there, and she was asking a ton of questions, and so it was good.
People would say that her brewery is small until you see Greenwood. And
Hers,
then you'd be
hers
like,
has,
oh,
hers has mood lighting.
it has a lot of space.
Yeah. So I can't remember what they were brewing, honestly. It was
What was
it
that?
cold IPA? Cold IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're brewing a cold IPA, and
It was awesome because they were like, "Whew, so glad my lauder's not sticking." She's like, I used more flaked rice in this than I've ever used in my life. And it kept just pouring out like flour. And I thought, I got to get some more rice hulls. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I was confused because I saw the rice hulls in the mix, hulls in the mix, and I didn't see the rest of the recipe. So, when people are loading the mash tun, those buckets of rice hulls are much lighter.
Right.
Although I think she blended them in a little bit. They don't have a grist case, or it's all manual, so they did it fireman chain style or whatever, train style.
Bucket brigade. Bucket brigade.
There you go. Yeah.
Boom.
So we were joined later. You joined Kale from OSO, a board member joined. Kristen Drews from Throne joined. And then we
Also
were
board member.
Yes, and then we were going to join board member Jeremy DeConsini from Moto Sonar. He was going to come up for the day. He has a background. He's done some. He actually was an intern in DC. His family has a political history. I would prefer that he come on and talk about that because I'm going to mess up some details. But anyway, he actually told me that as an intern, they take you to this part of the rotunda where, every one of the interns writes some graffiti. He said he wrote something. He wrote something in a place that was publicly visible, and he had regrets about it for many, many years until someone told him that it's no longer visible because I painted over it.
Man.
But I mean, he was like,
I wanted to go and see it. That's like Arizona history, man.
yeah, he was pretty
For
regretful.
real.
But like I had time to power down a complimentary burrito. Thanks for Megan Greenwood and the Greenwood team for providing coffee and burritos.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And we went on down to the state capitol. In the meantime,
I hung out for a little bit
Yeah.
with Megan, and we talked about beer and the industry and all the crazy things that go on, and how sometimes people we just talked about a whole lot of stuff, even in the industry, out of the industry, just general business. It was great. I love talking to her.
yeah.
And then I went to 100 Mile Brewing Company.
Yeah. Tell me about that. Because
That was the official Pink Boots Brew Day. And Billy McGovern was there. And Vicky was there. Not in the industry, Vicky.
okay.
Vicky and Justin.
Yeah.
And a couple other people came by. We had Channel 15 there, did some little interview stuff. Not me. I really avoided that. I was like, this is International Women's Day, not Andrew Talks All the Time Day.
Yeah. I usually just hand him a card and say,
That's what I did. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
They also have a manual system, so the mill rolls out the back door. They mill the grain one bag at a time into the bag and tie it up on the bottom and carry it up to the top of the brew stand and the whole thing. And so I did get to help with that, carry things up the stairs. But I tried and stay out of it because that's not really my thing. It's their thing.
Right.
But I'm glad to celebrate with.
Yeah, no. We joined a little late, but in the meantime, while you're doing that, we met at the Capitol, and Jeremy was saying, like, I grew up in Phoenix, but I don't think I've ever been here. I certainly haven't been here as an adult. So
Wow.
I tried to show him around a little bit and describe some of the history that as I know it. But we were able to get him logged into the RTS system, request to speak. Here's the thing: this bill that we're talking about has many, many components to it. Of primary interest to our breweries is they would be able to sell beer to go under what's called a festival license, but it's not like a festival that people know. It's more like wine and spirits. So they can put up a tent. They usually do these things. Couple of these places.
A couple of brewers will get together, a couple wineries, a couple distilleries, whatever.
But
They'll
we
get
can't-
together in one area.
We can't sell to go.
On our festivals, we can't sell to go.
They can
At
sell to
these
go.
events, breweries cannot sell to go. However, wine and spirits can. So this bill is to equalize that and say, hey, we want to have the same rights that wine and spirits already have. And it's just one little tiny step towards that.
Yeah, and it's it sounds crazy, but at a certain point in my time, it was not something that would have passed. things have changed. We made the argument that we had a lot of people who are strictly retail breweries, strictly on-site consumption, taproom breweries as you know them. And that model was the most popular model, probably the most, at one point, the most profitable model per ounce of liquid. But things change, I mean, I think people are now, post-pandemic, because of the pandemic or because of other things, inflation, whatever, everyone wants everybody wants a one-stop shop. So like more places where you could get a full meal or other products, right? Wine, cider, mead, the whole gamut, full experience. Those places are doing better than the average right now.
Better than the average brewery who is strictly their own beer over a bar with no food.
And there was also the pandemic created an opportunity to package beer and to get into types of off-premise, on-premise sales that they didn't normally have.
They didn't have before.
Yeah.
Normally, because normally indicates this is abnormal. This is just something new. They were forced by situation to start putting beer in cans, which they hadn't done before.
To consider it, because some people haven't.
Well, some haven't, but so many have, and they never would have even thought of it.
No, it's
Well, they've thought of it, but they said no.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And the mobile canning thing had gone through several years of proving its effectiveness as a strategy. Quality issues I think have gone down in terms of having these problems. There's more public trust with it. Nobody really goes to and goes, is this mobile can or is this? Nobody does that. So. And there was, a lot of the taproom breweries started at the same time. So there was a lot of navel gazing and like, hey, well, you guys are doing this. We should be doing this. Maybe not necessarily look at the bottom line, because the bottom line on packaged beer to go are putting things in cans without having any kind of scale to both on the purchasing side of can stock and cardboard and pack tech rings and all that stuff.
Labels
is pretty costly. And, instead of getting dollars per pint, you're getting cents per case in some cases.
Generally, when you sell it out into the larger market, that's true. These taproom model breweries are selling the majority of their cans also over their bar. So they are getting a maximum amount of return on those cans.
Sure. Let's just say, though, that it's a continuum of people who are maximizing that, and there are people who are they're not losing money. They're just not making as much money as they could if they did it differently. So this is a long way of saying that it's unrealistic for people who oppose the expansion of breweries, and there are people out there that do, industries that do. It's a long way of saying that the reality is these breweries aren't going to be packaging as a primary source of income. And so some are making money because they're the hype brewery and they can sell 4-packs for $20
or more.
But the reality is that's not the future or destiny of most places.
Right, and they might have one-offs that are $15 a can or something, and they also are still going to primarily make their money over their own bar. But it would be great to have the opportunity to say, go to a farmer's market, sample some beer, get people to know your name, and then they pick up a 4-pack or a 6-pack and take it home with them.
Because you can tell the story. You can say, hey,
income, just a little bit more.
You can tell the story like, hey, this isn't available a lot of places. We're doing this, but you probably should come visit us, and that's guarantee we'll have it. This is the longest way of saying that historically across the country, distributors, not always ours, but retailers, not always ours, have this fantasy about how this works. It's like, well, you do all these things. we allow,
including
as
relevant
retailers,
work
we allow you to sort of
training,
abrogate
community college
the
education,
fabric of
military
time and
service,
space and the
and
three-tier
these will all
system.
be
You
given
get all these rights, but
considerable
your
weight
ultimate goal
for
is to
many state
graduate.
government
I'm using the air
positions in
quotes all over the
IT
place
administrative work.
to be
And
this packaging brewery and be more like Budweiser and less like a bar, restaurant, public space, third place.
That was
Community center. That's they don't want us to do those things, but the reality is that's what we're really good at, is doing all those small things. And
Yeah, the hospitality part.
yes.
Oh,
So
I said the word.
Yeah.
Now here goes Rob. He's all spun up.
no. So this opportunity has, because we have talked about these things many times with our potential adversaries and also our potential friends in the industry, close to 80 different constituent groups come to agreement when we do these bills, and that's saying a lot. So it passed that bar. The legislature is such that they are super pro-business, even with the transition between parties in some respects. I mean, look, I think a lot of people are pro-business no matter what their party is, small business in particular. So we're still very well liked. So this is going to go through, I think, I hope. And the other one is we file state luxury tax or state gallonage tax for production of beer that is sold to go. It's separate from any other tax. We changed the filing from monthly to annually.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing. We were on our call yesterday, and in Oregon, there's a bill to raise taxes 1,200% from $2 and change to over $30 a barrel. Can you imagine what that would do to the price of beer and to businesses? That would be such a killer.
Yeah. So here's the thing with us. We're middle of the road. I think we're 23 or 24. So like when you open that can of worms and say, hey, we would like to lower our taxes, you actually get people interested and go, well, how much do you pay? Well,
You should pay more.
this craft beer thing is taking off like crazy. You should pay more. The reality is, if you're with a distributor, all that's handled by the distributor and your unit price is already built into that. So any tax savings aren't going to go back to the brewery unless they can renegotiate their contracts, which ain't going to happen. This is mostly if you're a smaller brewery and you don't sell a lot, outside of your brewery, you're sometimes writing a $20 check, or you're writing no check, but you still have to file.
Oh yeah, cents.
Yeah.
So you write checks for like $3.12. It's fun.
Yeah. and think about all the formats you have. You have 12 ounce, you have 16 ounce, you've got 19.2, you've got, you have 12 packs or 6 packs or 4 packs. You got to do all that math and reduce it down to gallons and then pay the gallonage. So you're not just even paying by the barrel.
Yeah, it's not that hard. I mean, you say how many 12 packs do we make, you put it in the spreadsheet. It's not a big deal. But it is a pain in the ass. And you have to look at every single batch that you made that entire month and how much was your production and, how much stayed in-house, how much went to other owned premises that you don't pay tax on that, how much went to your distributor, you don't pay tax on that, how much went out to actual retailers, you have to pay tax on that, how much went to consumers to go, you pay tax on that. So it's relatively complicated. And some might say if you do it monthly, it's easier to keep it all straight. But if you can just print one QuickBooks report at the end of the year and report off that, trust me, that is going to work.
Yeah, you or somebody else said it was probably 4 or 6 hours of labor a month, possibly.
Depending on what your model is, yeah.
Well, and I think
And your volume.
I think you overestimate how many people actually use computers and spreadsheets and
how many brewers do it versus someone in the corporate office who's an accountant. Yes, I get it.
my bellwether is email. So if people are using technology at the same level as they are email in this industry,
Oh Lord,
then we got problems.
we got challenges.
So yeah.
Hey Rob,
Yes.
why don't we take a break?
We should take a break.
Let's take a quick break. We're 25 minutes in. Well, 15 maybe.
Let me just get one more point in.
All right.
There's two other bills. Part of the consensus bill is to handle more Mexican ID types. So border crossing and consular ID. There's one type of ID that is not covered, but we'll get into that after the break. I just want to make sure that people understand that there are other things that also benefit us, but we weren't driving the bus on that. But when we think about it, we're talking about potential tens of millions of dollars of business that we're turning away because we're making it hard for people who are legally here on vacation, doing business.
And don't have an ID that's acceptable to purchase alcohol, even if you're 50 years old.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Okay, let's take a break.
All right, cool.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Matt Gress, Legislative District 4. It's a consensus bill that they work together on, and they have to have unanimous agreement of about 80 stakeholders. And being able to get everybody on the same page, this is really, really important. One area that I want to point out is the microbrewery and festival and fair privileges, adding a new type of license opportunity for the festivals for our microbreweries. And I think this is just, again, going to continue to emphasize the leisure and hospitality industry that Arizona has been known for.
By your vote of 4 ayes, 1 nay, and 2 not voting, you have given HB 2223 a due pass recommendation. Thank you, committee. All right, let's move to the next bill, HB 2225.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, so we
Are
were
you
just
gonna do a
talking about
clap?
the bill.
Are you going to do a big clap or something?
No, I've actually gotten better at syncing up 4 or 5 sources at a time. It's all right.
Great.
Learn some things. I watch some videos, learn some things. I don't even use the auto sync anymore because it just takes too long. Anyway, we were talking about the bills. Well, I'll just zip up that part of it for right now, other than to say I got a chance to take 3 of my board members down to the Capitol. We got in, signed in, and I was like, hey, we could be here quite a while. Like, for some reason, our bill was first. Bing, bang, boom. Yeah.
Hooray!
We didn't go through unanimously. We had 2 absences, and we got through. We had a no vote. I'll get into that later, maybe.
2 absences and no vote. Any against?
Well, the no vote.
Oh, no vote. I thought you meant like they didn't vote. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
4120. That's
Oh, great.
so good enough.
Yeah.
And I think we have an understanding as to why that no vote was there, and it doesn't represent a trend or anything to do with what's going on between the 2 parties. Should not be an issue. So we're just waiting to go to
great
third
news.
read. And, we still have to face potential governor veto. I don't think so, but you never know, man. Every bill is a stick of wood to throw on some fire at this point. I think I mentioned in my last show, the budget has to pass or we'll shut the government down. I know everyone's like, oh, cool. Like, it's not really cool. It's really not.
No, then if you want a special event license, guess what? You can't get one.
Yeah, there's a whole host of other things
A
too.
lot of stuff. Yeah.
People are waiting for construction permits. We've got just general business things that are going to be a problem. And, people rely on their state programs to survive. Yeah. So
Pay rent, eat, things like that. Sure.
So we did that. Actually they had some time because I was like, we were done at like 9:15 technically, and I'm like, well, look, let's go over to the Capitol Museum, and they were super thrilled about that. There was an exhibit for women's suffrage as part of Women's History Month, and so it was appropriate that we were in the middle of International Women's Day. And
Hey, Rob,
yeah,
did women get to vote in Arizona before the 19th Amendment?
you're going to tell me the answer to that?
They did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Didn't read that part.
Well, I was doing trivia, so I did Women's Day trivia. True fact. Way to go, Arizona.
So I don't know if I've talked about this before, but the A1 Brewing Company,
Right.
they used some paintings from Lon McGargy.
Can you do a quick A1 Brewing Company background for people who might not know?
A1 is the original Arizona brewery that has one of the longest histories of being a brewery here in Arizona continuously. And I think they were bought by G. Heilemann and some other brewing concerns. And I think they closed in 1987. And
They started in the 40s or 50s?
No, they started, well, I don't know. Now I think about it, but
We have resources to get the answer, but
yeah.
well, just like I said, quick. Just it's the original Arizona brewery before craft beer was a thing. It was just making light lager in Arizona beer.
Right. If you ever get a chance to, it's just the Washington Street fire station where they do training. In the entranceway, the A1 tile mosaic is still there. Apparently, I haven't seen it since, but A1 did a series of ads with paintings from Lon McGargy. Lon McGargy was a rancher. He famously had 7 wives. I don't think he was even Mormon. I just think he had 7 wives back in the day.
All right.
He did paintings in the early to mid 1900s. His original house is a ranch is lawns at the Hermosa Inn in Paradise Valley. Super cool place to go have a beer.
Love it.
It's so goddamn Western. It's great.
It's awesome.
So anyway, his paintings are in there I think on the second floor, and I pointed him out. But one of the paintings, a lot of people have reproductions of the print that look like paintings. I have one. It's the Cowboy Dream. It's the cowboy laying in the clouds with the saddle as his pillow. So you might recognize that. And again, if you watch the video that we're on YouTube, I'll throw that picture up there. So I pointed out some things like that, and the old cornerstone for territorial days. And we went to the House and Senate side, and I said, hey, we can have meetings here. We can totally reserve this, and we will have more than 10 people, so we can schedule a tour. The whole thing. Like, I recommend people go and visit the Capitol Museum. It is like cool. Just like we probably turn some people on to the Heritage Museum, and we're going to turn people on to the Tucson Museum. We should probably talk about that a little bit later. Super cool history stuff.
We'll talk about that next week.
And we went to the gift store, bought a few things, talked to, I think his name's Drew. He listens to the show. I got it wrong. He actually told me he listens to the show.
Well, that's
so
cool.
They used to sell beer there. I told him, like, hey, we're trying to get the Secretary of State to get the license back. And he was excited about that. Opening a beer.
I know when to go out.
Yeah, opening a beer.
I know when to stay
This is
in
Modern Pills. Fate.
and get things done.
Modern Pills. Walks beside me. Modern Pills. I was doing a little Bowie there.
Oh, so close.
Ooh, yeah, it's super foamy. Anyway,
Well, I poured it from like 2 feet above the glass.
I did a rookie pour too. Well, we should do that. In our very attractive strong beer glasses.
Mm-hmm.
You did a great job on these.
That head is hanging in there.
Yeah, so they got to see that, and then we were able to join you.
Oh, we're at 100 Mile.
100 Mile. We should also mention, like, I think Arizona Wilderness did an in-house Women's Day brew. Simple Machine did a brew. But none of them were listed on the Pink Boots Society, so it was hard for us to, not that we could have gone to 4 or 5.
Dragoon had a happy hour down there, and someone else did a brew day down there too. So I wish I knew more, but I just don't.
Yeah. Well, as it turns out, I felt fortunate to go to 2 because of the day that we had. I mean, it's being up there at 7 and being at the legislature all day.
Yep.
But I was able to get there as they were doing first runnings, and like this warms my heart. There were people from Girls Point Out and homebrewers, and they're like, hey, and Billy McGovern was like, hey, Val, the brewer at 100 Mile, and actually a bunch of people like they never had a hot scotchy. I'm like, wow, yeah, we have kind of fallen off that. Like, I haven't seen very many people serve them for collaboration beers anymore. Have you?
I don't know if they really advertise it. I don't even know if they do it. I mean, I always do.
Yeah.
And there was hot scotchy night at Hungry Monk.
Sure. But just saying, like the last couple of collaboration beers was.
Yeah, we got to get that together. And we also need to make sure we're carrying some spirits in our car because a lot of these places don't have.
DLLC loves that. We just drive around with partial bottles of.
They don't care. I always have one in my car. It's in my kitchen set in my camping thing.
So I'm going to give you some advice.
It's in the back. It's not. I can't. grab it.
So you can have partial bottles of alcohol as long as they are not within the reach of the passenger compartment. And if you have a Jeep like me, basically you fold the seat down and it's all of it. But I mean, like you should keep it clearly outside of reach.
Yeah.
And then you're okay. And this is actually true of beer delivery things. And honestly, people should secure their loads much better than putting a seatbelt on it. And okay, we won't go there. But hot scotch.
Oh, well, let me tell you mine. I always have a bottle of bourbon in my car in the kitchen drawer underneath my platform. Absolutely inaccessible. And no one would ever know it's there unless I told you on a podcast.
God, who would do that? So hot scotchies, first runnings of wort. So you're basically making an infusion, right? And the first hot water that hits the richest part of your cracked grain is going to produce the highest concentration of sugar. And it sounds amazing. If you eat malt, it's very sweet. It's very moreish. The problem is when that infusion is poured through, it's if you drink it, it's super sweet, and then there's nothing. It's very flabby unto itself. And if it doesn't have this 150-ish temperature, the longer it sits, it starts to taste like a can of corn or sauerkraut. Like if you just left it cold, it gets. So all that stuff is fixed in the brewing process, obviously. But if you're drinking cold wort, it's not
it's not fun.
No.
You're like, it's a thing.
So what you do is you drink that first runnings, and generally only the first runnings.
Which is the highest concentration of sugars.
Right. And you add some scotch to it, hence hot scotchy. It has to be hot, and it traditionally is scotch. You and other people have also determined that sometimes
freaks like me.
Sometimes rye is good.
Yeah.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to get us to where someone says, "Hey, we're doing this wit, and we're putting mezcal in it." Like,
yeah.
Right. Like that's how it's so that kick of scotch carries you over that flabbiness, and it just completes the whole thing. And like, you're not ever really going to, in most conditions, get that served to you in any kind of drinking establishment ever. For one, that is the most valuable portion of the wort. The first runnings.
Brewers need that.
Yeah. Like if they just said, hey, we're going to serve all this. You have this very not concentrated wort. You're boiling longer to get it back up. You lost your volume. So it's very unlikely that you're going to be in a brew house as a consumer at what? In your case, you probably were getting those first runnings at what time in the morning?
Oh, geez. 6
a.m.
Yes.
So you're not going to go, hey, I'm going to go to Uncle Bear's. Like, just going to look and see if you're.
Can I have a little bit of scotchy?
Yeah, no. It doesn't happen. Now, homebrewers can do it all day, every day.
Or you can go to the homebrew store and get dry malt extract and make your own first runnings.
You can, but there's a little something to be said for scale.
Well, there's also a difference.
Thermal mass.
There's also a difference in what comes out of dry malt extract versus an all grain brew. I mean, there's just a difference.
So 2 things. Always have them when you have a chance to.
Always have them if you have a chance.
Get to know a homebrewer and just say, hey, you should probably Google hot scotchy if they don't know what you're talking about. Third thing is if you see the ash, do it. And I think that brewery did it for Beer Week 2 this year.
They did.
Go to it, have it. Also, a lot of breweries don't have the license to serve publicly to adding spirits to. So, shh.
Yeah. Loose lips sink shits, mofo.
They can't sell it. They wouldn't sell it to you.
No.
So, they all had it. It was fun.
They do have a license, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
100 Mile does.
Yeah, they have a license. So, restaurant, thumbs up.
Give you that.
Brew pub, probably thumbs up. Yeah, I'm going to give you that. So that was our International Women's Day, and I haven't posted any photos, but as you said, any day is a you can post those any day. Yeah, so I'm going to pull that together once I get this all pulled together. We've just been super busy, man.
Yeah. Today was just put the head down and grind for sure. And then tomorrow I'm going to Tucson again. And we went yesterday.
Yeah, we went yesterday. I don't have a lot of pictures because I took them mostly on the camera. We're just trying to. We just wanted to get some B-roll.
I forgot.
For
yesterday.
video. I know it was yesterday. We want to get some B-roll for videos to do more promos in general, but also specifically to Baja Beer Fest. And it gives us an opportunity to talk.
Did I say I'm going tomorrow? I meant I'm going tonight.
Tonight. Yeah. We were just hopefully. Yeah, and well, let's just start with where we went there to do X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
We went with Jamie from Barrio Brewing Company, had a great talk, just filling her in on all the stuff that we just talked about, like in terms of what's going on legislative, what we're seeing in what she's seeing, and I've confirmed a few things. People are not staying out as late as they used to.
No.
At all.
No. But breweries were already way ahead of that trend.
Yeah.
Like a lot of breweries close at 8 or 9.
True.
Like we're done.
True. But they're seeing some positive things, and it's also, I mean, it's also sort of tied to the fact that people don't want to work long hours, right? Like
right.
in the service industry, they're already doing doubles, and so we've seen this. So we talked to Ben Vernon from Crooked Tooth, and hopefully I'll be able to pull that video together because he's like one take on talk about his brewery, his love for his city, his love for the community. Boom, one take.
Baja is great because it's in Tucson. It's great because it features the most Arizona breweries of any of the beer fests that we have. It's great because there's opportunities for people to come from Phoenix to come down here and actually showcase what's going on throughout the rest of the state. It gives Tucson an opportunity to really feature something that is craft beer oriented and has a ton of things going on with it. I love the fact that we constantly are building up craft beer because that craft beer trend is what keeps us all going, and this is an appreciation and a love for said trends. So yeah, come to Baja, drink some great beer, experience great things with Arizona breweries, and continue to support local. I'm out.
I'm gonna pull together something with Todd Button. I'm not comparing them, but like he was actually working at the same time. I mic'd him up, and I just try to get him comfortable. And he,
Todd is a brewery owner who brews.
Yeah, and he's. I talked to Erica, his wife. The two together are that company, and
she's a business manager. He's the brewery,
right? And she's like, "Oh, good luck with that." I'm like, "Oh no, I'll get him to talk." And like
he did.
We got him to talk about. It was nice. So they were brewing a kettle sour base, and they were going to do 3 different ways, and we got him to talk about that. And like, actually, it sounds really super cool. So like, mark the calendar, like 6 weeks. 6 weeks from now. Like, get on that. There's going to be some fruited sours. Calamansi,
blue raspberry, and strawberry starburst.
Strawberry starburst. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went to Dragoon Brewing Company.
I did these all out of order.
Have you ever heard of Dragoon Brewing Company?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. We got to talk to Eric and Tristan and everyone else there.
And Carl.
And
Norm.
We had so much fun. And Norm, yeah.
They're working on CO2 recapture, and it's not going as well as they hoped.
They're having some equipment issues, and man, I love that concept though.
It is, and I don't want to tell the story because I think we need to understand if they're going to have success with it or not. But we'll see.
Hopeful.
Yeah. But the struggle is the struggle because like it sounds like super easy to take the CO2 that is emanating from the product that you produce and being able to capture the gas
And reuse it. What's the big deal?
Compress it. You have to compress
Filter it.
Filter it, compress it to a liquid.
And then redistribute it.
Yeah.
It is a pretty big challenge.
Yeah.
But I think that this is the year 2023, and we have the technology for a lot of this stuff. It's not quite there, is what it seems like. Breaks my heart. But
like as with most things, wow.
Almost
as
there.
with most things, scale has a lot to do with it.
Definitely. I mean, Budweiser, Coors, Miller, they've been doing CO2 recapture for decades.
Right. So I'm encouraged. I feel the same way. We're going to go through the same learning curve when we can better recapture our wastewater and possibly treat it on site. That is a thing I have high hopes for. But
We even have a little legislative thing about that going on with the Mike's. Oh no, the Mark
Anthony. Yeah.
Mark Anthony stuff.
I don't
in
think
Glendale.
that bill's going to go anywhere. It's
They want to do their own water recapture and treatment, and the city says, "No, we need your water back in our system."
yeah.
I mean, essentially, that's what I heard.
That's the issue, and I don't know if that's just these are things that happen in other states. Like New Belgium famously has their own wastewater treatment plant. I mean, they were one of the first ones that I knew about. Other breweries of that size, it's a regular deal.
Mm-hmm. We even know about our good friends down at Ranch Hand who have to recapture and treat their own water all day long.
Yeah. It's just that they want to recapture and reuse it.
Yes.
Which I'm sure New Belgium does. I'm sure Sierra Nevada does. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I went to Sierra Nevada, and they treat and send it back to municipal.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. It's higher quality than municipal can even treat to.
Sure.
But they do send it back. I mean, at least 10 years ago they did.
Yeah. So it's encouraging that bill is out there. It might have been not fully formed yet.
Also, it would have been great if they had talked to us and we could speak to it for them, but it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I know we're supposed to be mad or angry or upset with
Mark Anthony existing.
Mark Anthony is White Claw.
I would not be mad. Why would we have to
No,
be
I'm
mad
just
about
saying
that?
the public. We have acquired skilled people from that
Yeah.
organization
There
to
are
help
people
us with
who
our breweries.
learn tons.
And there are people who will leave our industry to get better at their skills by going there. And
Come back. We've seen it.
yeah.
Or, yeah.
And I don't give a rip what you drink, man.
As long as you like it.
Yeah. I'd rather have them here than across the border doing the same thing.
In New Mexico, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. The heart of White Claw. Yeah.
Well, after all of the things we already did, we had a visit at Tap and Bottle
What?
yesterday.
We were there.
We were there, and you took a meeting with City of Tucson to go through the special event committee.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just being really, I told Rebecca we weren't going to make it. And then we had to land somewhere for me to take a call.
We had to have Wi-Fi. Well, we had to literally sit because that meeting should have been like 5 minutes, but it took 20,
Yeah. Yeah.
25.
Well, here's the thing. You're going to be there tonight. You have a family friend kind of thing.
Yeah.
Going on?
I mean, it's industry too, but yeah.
And then tomorrow you're going to be where?
At Button Brew House at March Hoppiness selling tickets to the Baja Beer Fest, but no one's going to know about that from this podcast. Yeah. And then I'm also going to have to go. I mean, I'm going to be privileged to go to Moda Sonora for their 3-year anniversary.
Great.
So much to do.
And then you're coming back
Saturday, yeah.
And then
Coming back
Sunday
Saturday.
we have,
I have dogs I have to take care of. I can't stay 2 nights.
but we have a baseball game.
On Sunday is the baseball game. Yeah.
So people who, breweries, people who worked Strong Beer Festival
Yeah.
are going to be at the Sunday game.
I'm going to tell you, I heard a lot of talk on Wednesday about that game.
Yeah.
People are like, a lot of people are going. I thought it was people would think brewery people are kind of, whatever. It's Sunday. It's my only day by myself.
Yeah.
But no, they all are going. I'm shocked.
We have to remember to bring your little bracelets.
Yes,
They're on my desk.
you remember.
I'll remember. Baseball bracelets.
Yeah.
So
There's only 27 left.
it's all right. People will come to see me then for that because they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I want one of those."
Great.
So this is all stuff you're not gonna.
It's going to be
Here
done
until-
before.
But then Monday we've got some meetings and
Got 3 meetings in Tucson.
yeah,
And then Tuesday, we have a TV spot with the Historical Museum.
great. So, we should talk about that, but should we wait?
Maybe Sunday.
Okay, yeah. So it's Tucson all day, every day in
It's
this
Tucson
office,
all day, every day.
and we hope you come down. What I would say about that festival is there's a lot of city pride, and like it's fun and fashionable to like be like, "Moo, Tucson, like we're from Phoenix," like bullshit, man. That town is for living, and the kind of craft beer lifestyle that is geared for.
I'm going to tell you right
100%.
now, if I could be Ben Vernon's neighbor, I would move there tomorrow.
I agree with you. That's not even counting in, Julie. So that seals the deal. So
Absolutely.
we're going to be having more Tucson content for the rest of this month until the very epic Baja Beer Fest. I'm super excited for it. It is like I hope that when we do something in Flagstaff coming up, that we
Same
get the
thing.
same
Yeah.
get the same feeling.
You just get to drive up there. I won't. My wife said we should just get an Airbnb from now through April 2nd and move down there.
Tucson listeners,
Hey, Tucson listeners, if you have an extra room,
if you have a mother-in-law
house
shack
in the
your
backyard, we're down. We have some budget to spend a little.
You will not be wanting for beer
We'll
stories.
make sure you have excellent company and
tell you trade
beverages.
secrets.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Your place will be hallowed ground.
that's right.
We'll give you a guild tacker.
Oh, for free.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be spending a lot of time in Tucson and then off to Nashville, and then it will be pure flag. Amazing.
Yeah. I'm excited about the next 6 months. That puts us in August.
Why 6 months?
Because I'm not excited about the end of the year. I never
After
am.
6 months? Why?
Because end of the year, we start the legislative session all over again. I get all stressed out.
No, we don't. We start elections all over again. The legislative session starts in January.
No, but all the
There's no elections this year, are there?
no. Yeah. Oh, well, like
City and stuff.
No, I don't. No, not consequential ones. But no, I'm talking about getting our agenda together.
Oh, okay.
And I got some ideas. So
I got a couple things that I think are important. Yeah.
so you get that.
Hey,
It's the
if you
run-up.
have anything you think's important for the Arizona Brewery legislative agenda, drop them in the comments down below. Did I do it right?
I think so.
Thanks.
Smash and hit that like button. All right. I'm gonna have to edit out like a lot of this bullshit.
I guess. I hope not.
I just didn't want Rebecca to know they were down in her bar, and I told her we weren't going to be there. That's all. I would rather admit that in public, in person, not in.
Good. Just text her and say, hey, we did stop by. We didn't have time to talk anyway, so come on, man. Give yourself a break. Holy mackerels. People aren't out to, like,
It's politics all the time in this brain.
shank you or anything.
I do miss her, man. She's so cool, and she does so much more than people. Yeah.
There is no day that she doesn't offer to help. It's awesome.
No, and it's a team. I shouldn't discount.
Scott.
Yeah.
And the rest of our team. Anyways.
We're
okay,
all
great.
teams.
Now you do have to edit it, so we have to go. All right. Hey, Rob. It was really nice chatting today. Hope
was
that we shared some important stuff with our friendly listeners and viewers.
Yeah, out of 55 minutes, I say 25 of it was important.
You're ridiculous. All right. We're out of here. I'm off to jump on I-10, head south of Tucson.
You got to pick up your wife. Don't forget.
I have to pick up the tent from your house, too.
All right, we out of here. You do need me. Haha. Okay.